What's going on, guys? It's your boy Headband J coming back at y'all with another video, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite hoopers. So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, and let's dive into the story of Jordan McCabe. From 2014 to 2018, the basketball community became very familiar with this white kid from Wisconsin who was crossing up everyone. Especially in his last 2 years of high school, this kid was getting a lot of exposure from Ball is Life, and we would see him playing well at many top camps such as Pangos, NBPA Top 100, and the Under Armour camp hosted by Steph Curry. But even before all this high school fame, he gained national attention when a clip of him from the Seattle News went viral. The name of this kid was Jordan McCabe.
It is time once again for Eric's Little Heroes.
And this one is pretty spectacular.
I think you'll be amazed, that's for sure. About 8 months ago, a kid named Jordan McCabe and his family moved here from Wisconsin. Jordan, as it turns out, can play a little basketball.
When Jordan McCabe walks into a gymnasium, he lights the place up. Ends in the middle of the floor and flat out blows your mind. Around the legs he goes with eye-blurring, mind-numbing speed, in and out, and then around the head and the back and everything else. And then things start to get really crazy. What was that, you say? And the kid gives you another angle just as unbelievable as the first. Rhythm, two balls out of sync. Big ball, little ball. Little ball, big ball. Time with the Huskies game the other night. He razzled and dazzled and left them all frazzled. It was his way of saying, there's a new gun in town.
From there, he would make appearances on The Ellen Show, The Globetrotters, and even got to practice with the Warriors before they were hated by everyone. After that, he went on to have a pretty solid high school career, which I mentioned in the intro. In his senior year of high school, he would average 26 points per game, commit to West Virginia, and do this in his state championship.
All right, three-point game, a lot of time.
We'll go for the tie. McCabe, count it!
How good was that? 27.
A long, nifty, splits a pair of defenders and he finishes.
Here we go.
The lead back to Washington. Less than a minute to play. McCabe for the lead.
Got it.
Yes!
Got it.
Jordan McCabe, how do you do what you do, young fella?
Take long to the rim.
Not a single soul in a chair across the entire Kohl Center.
1-4 flat here. They're going to let McCabe win it, or it's going to go overtime. Maybe a high ball screen here by Curry.
Here it comes. McCabe hesitates, drives, right hand,
Got
around
it.
and in.
Got it.
2 seconds to play, a timeout from Washington.
There wasn't many people in the state that were going to stop that action there. It's just a matter of whether he was going to finish it or not.
This is a young man completely taking over this basketball game, and he gets the friendly roll from the Kohl Center rim.
Tell me, every
Man, that's quite the way to go out. This dude had one of the best careers we've ever seen for a high schooler. He was Wisconsin Mr. Basketball, hit the game winner in a state championship, got to play in many top camps, got great exposure through YouTube. Everyone knew who he was and a lot of people were rooting for him. And it looked like, due to how strong his fundamentals were, that he was going to be a solid player at the next level. But since he went off to college, we haven't heard much from him. So what exactly went wrong? When Jordan McCabe first committed to West Virginia, he was expected to have a big part of the team, but this never happened in his 3 years there. I guess head coach Bob Higgins was just never impressed enough with McCabe to give him actual minutes, especially in his sophomore and junior seasons with the team. His freshman season was actually his best, where he averaged 5.8 points per game on 32% shooting on 18 minutes per game. Not the best, but pretty solid for a freshman. He regressed in his sophomore season, averaging 3.1 points per game on 31.1% shooting, and his minutes were cut by 5, and he was only getting 13.5 minutes per game. I thought this may have just been a sophomore slump and he would be able to bounce back, but his junior season, things only got worse. Throughout his junior season, which was the COVID season, he averaged a mere 2.2 points per game on 31% shooting and 11 minutes per game. It's pretty bad to go from having your freshman season be your best season and to just keep regressing over the next 2 years, especially as he became an upperclassman. But I think that there's a couple factors impacting why he's not playing a lot of minutes and why he's not playing well. So first of all, West Virginia is a defensive-minded school, and McCabe is under 6 foot and not athletic. So for a guy built like him, it's going to be pretty hard to get a lot of minutes on a defensive-minded team that plays in a Power 5 conference. This lack of defense and lack of athleticism doesn't allow him to guard other point guards in the Big 12, and it also doesn't allow him to do everything that he could do on offense, because the best defenders that he was facing in high school were guys who had really good fundamentals. Now he's going up against guys who can just purely use their athleticism to guard him, and obviously if you're not explosive, then it's going to be much harder to play offense and defense, but especially defense. Second of all, he struggled with his shot and being efficient. In 3 seasons, he shot basically 30% every single season. His freshman season, 32%. His sophomore and junior years, 31%. If you can't make the most out of the minutes that coaches give you and play efficiently, it's only going to make coaches want to play you less. So if they see you being inefficient in the garbage time or in just whatever time that they give you, then it's going to give them less faith in you. And to wrap up my points about why he struggled, it's still directly tied to his lack of minutes. He's probably struggling with his confidence because his coaches never really gave him a chance. And I've been a bench player before, and I know how hard it is to go in and produce with limited minutes. At the end of the day, there aren't really any excuses for it, but it is hard to be sitting on the bench the whole game and come in and everyone expects you to play great. And you have to remember, his confidence is definitely affected by this because Jordan McCabe's whole life, he was the man. Any school he went to, any team he went to, he was the starting point guard. He was the bucket getter. He was the guy that his coaches and teammates looked to. And now he goes to a school where they're making him ride the bench. Man, that's got to damage the ego a little bit. Going from being one of the best players in the history of your state to being just a bench warmer in college must suck, and it's something that no player expects to happen with them. So I think part of the reason why he's playing is just he is a little limited with his physical stature, but that's only part of it. I think his confidence is also greatly affected, and that's why even in the minutes that he did get, he was playing poorly. As time went on, this just got worse. So that brings us to the present day. Where is Jordan McCabe now? Well, after this past season at West Virginia, he's decided to transfer to UNLV, a D1 school in the Mountain West Conference. Now, I actually used to go to UNLV, and I'm familiar with their program, and they're not a very good basketball school right now. They haven't been for about like the last 5 to 10 years, and I actually think that going to UNLV could be a really good situation for them. UNLV is coming off a season where their head coach, TJ Otzelberger, he recently took the head coaching job at Iowa State, and so UNLV has had a bunch of players leave, and a lot of their players coming in are transfer players. They also have a new coach, Kevin Kruger, the son of Lon Kruger, who's going to be coaching them this season. And I think it's going to be a really ragtag team with a new coach, and we're still under a lot of restrictions from COVID. So I think it's going to be a weird season for them, but this team is very ragtag, new coach, a lot of new I know that UNLV has been building a lot of new facilities, and for a guy like McCabe, who's a 4th-year senior and who has played 3 years in the Big 12, UNLV is expecting him to come in right away and contribute. He's going from a high major program to a mid major, and I think that this could benefit him a lot, and hopefully he'll get good minutes and hopefully he'll be able to ball out. He's a very strong fundamental player, and I know that he's put on a lot of weight since high school to help out with defense, so hopefully this season he could get a chance from the coaching staff, and he's definitely going to be one of the most experienced players coming in, and we all know that this guy's a point guard who's been playing a long time, so he has a good basketball IQ, and hopefully this will be able to benefit him and he can have a good season and he can ball out in Vegas. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching today's video, What Happened to Jordan McCabe. I really appreciate it. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you want to talk about it in the comments, leave a comment below, and if you want to come back and watch more of me and my sports content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Anyways, that's all I got to say. It's your boy Headband J signing off.